Warning, this podcast contains spoilers.
Alright.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the ASOTV podcast for American Horror Story Roanoke. Episode 2, Chapter 2.
There are chapters this year.
Yes, there are chapters this year. I'm your host Mike, and joining me is Rachel.
Hello.
And Jake.
Yes, I know, Priscilla. I know they're a bunch of douchebags. Oh, hey!
Oh, you went that way. That just creeped the hell out of me. That whole Priscilla thing. Like, yes, she promised to kill. How did she put it?
You're all gonna die, and she's gonna save me for last.
She's not. Yeah, we're all gonna die, and she's gonna save me for last. Time to go, sweetie.
Priscilla, what's up with that? Oh, now
What's
you don't
up?
want to talk. Fine, we'll forget you then.
What's up with that? What's up with this, man?
I got nothing.
I hope they I don't know. Maybe at the end or something, they'll tell you who these characters are, or they explain who Priscilla is and stuff. I mean, so far they did explain some other characters.
I mean, we just picked up right where we left off last week, which I like. Especially
Literally right where we left.
Yes, no time between, 2 seconds later. We see Kathy Bates scalping a man.
Was it her or was it one of her little minions?
Well, maybe one of her minions, but we see
One
Kathy...
of her minions was Lady Gaga in her whatever she was wearing.
Yeah, right?
Not uncommon for Lady Gaga, but... I don't know, she was wearing a deer head.
Yeah, it was really... Yeah, it was...
They were all a little odd. And then they turned the man into a pig. And essentially made bacon.
Kathy Bates did similar things in season 3. She cut off a bull's head and she put it on one of her slaves.
Mm-hmm.
So now here she cut off a pig's head and put it on this one dude because what did he do? He stole something.
He stole food out of the...
Yeah, I forgot what she said, the community hoard or something.
He was greedy. Yeah, he was greedy, so they turned him into a pig.
Yeah. Which is very much in that era of when Roanoke was. You did something like that because, it was basically the community pantry.
Yeah.
That's where you put all the food, and if you didn't have that food by the time winter came around, you guys were screwed.
Yeah, people would die.
Mm-hmm. So it was a matter of life and death, and you kind of made an example of people that did it.
Yeah, you want to be a little piggy and eat too much food? Well, guess what? You're going to be a little piggy forever.
Yeah.
Still
Literally.
Literally. So, Shelby does what any sane individual would do and runs the fuck out of there.
Yes.
High speed. Finally, you did the smart thing, woman, and you found the road. And almost gets run over by your sister-in-law. Bravo.
I probably would have done the same thing.
And then she still falls over.
Yeah, right? I would probably have done the same thing. After seeing all that shit and then almost getting him back, I probably would have passed out too.
Yeah. But the thing that gets me is, oh no, it's all the hillbillies putting on a show trying to scare us off, but we will not
because that was a show.
She had to find a way to rationalize. Your brain does things when they try to rationalize things that are irrational.
I didn't just see ritual sacrifice in a cult. I didn't see a man turned into a pig. No.
It was all an elaborate hoax because seriously, if you saw that, would you actually think it was real? Your body's just going, no, it's not. It's these jerks over here that wanted to buy the house. They're putting on shit for you, man,
I don't think they want to buy the house.
Yeah, right?
I don't think they want the house. I just think they want people to get the fuck away from the house. It's crazy shit.
But, yeah, my husband's watching it, too, and he's like, I would buy the house. He goes, I don't care if it's haunted, I'd buy the house. Because he likes old houses like that.
The house itself is nice.
Oh, I love that house. I think it was an old, either old school. I think it was old school because it has the bell out in front.
I could see it being used as a school at one point. It fits.
But
it wouldn't be a
would
church
you want to
because
do that?
Well, I think a long time ago.
Maybe a very long time ago, yeah.
It would. The other thing is be a church, but it doesn't have that the main part because the spiral staircase is right in the middle.
No, I wouldn't buy that house. I mean, I can see why the hillbillies want to buy it. They probably want to buy it to burn it the hell down, so they can legally burn it down. I don't even know if that's still legal if you own the house. But now for the part of the episode that disturbed the crap out of me, and I'll explain why. So Lee brings her daughter Flora because she wants to spend time with her.
That's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
I know. She even said in her like little interview thing, I didn't really want to bring her here, but
And why would you do that?
Because she wanted to have time with her daughter. It's like, well,
can't you go
somewhere
to
else.
your daughter?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't want to put my child in an endangering and possibly lethal situation, but
I'm going to put my daughter in a dangerous situation.
It's like go to Raleigh or something like that. Rent a hotel or something for the weekend.
Go to Disneyland.
And do something, outside of this house with your daughter.
Yeah.
It'd be better than taking her to this house. Seriously?
But you know what, Flora, she seemed fine with it, and I can't tell if this is just a really bad actress or Flora just is okay with all the weird shit going around. That there's a dead woman at the bottom of the stairs.
She doesn't understand. Children, they don't have those preconceived notions at that age, really.
Well, she believes that Priscilla is a real person because
probably because she is.
Priscilla is probably real, but like no one else can see her. Only she can.
Yet.
Probably because this child hasn't been, exposed to the cynicism of this world. Well, she will be later in the episode, but at that point, she was very much a believer.
If you watch these kind of shows like this, like the ghost shows you see on like History Channel and stuff like that, always the kids are doing stuff like this. They're always warning the parents, or always saying these oddball things that parents are being like, oh, you just heard it on TV show, or they're just poo-pooing them away. But Lee's ex-husband was like,
Get me out of this house.
This place creeps the shit out of me, and
he's almost like, I've seen one too many horror movies. I know what happens to the black people.
Apparently, he's the only person in this entire universe who has seen a horror movie.
I know, right?
Yeah, that definitely makes him the most sane individual. Yeah, individual. I'm failing at words tonight.
Yeah, no, he was like,
Yeah, but you do not rip your daughter away from your ex-wife, because clearly Flora was unhappy. She's like screaming, she's banging on the car window. Now your daughter's gonna have daddy and mommy issues.
Yeah, I mean, we're all gonna die, and she's gonna kill me last.
If there was something else that Priscilla said, or if she was upset because if she leaves, then her mom's gonna die, or if she leaves, she's still gonna, that kind of thing. I don't know if there was something else going on. But.
Maybe her and Priscilla made a blood pact or something.
Priscilla said she's tired of all the blood.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, okay.
But
then she says she's going to kill everybody.
Kill them. Well, I think she said they're going to kill them, and they're going to save me for last.
So maybe Priscilla just wants to.
Priscilla, I'm. If I had to guess, Priscilla is a girl that used to live in the house way back when, or maybe before the house that was even built. Maybe there was the homestead house, and that house was built around it, kind of thing, because they have done it before. And she was murdered by these people or something, and she's trying to warn her.
Something happened, and Priscilla's upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very upset about it. Hoping
something she can't do. I'm guessing because there really, they did tell the history of the house. There really wasn't that many children that came into that house, so she probably couldn't communicate with her. So now there was a kid in the house.
It's like, ooh, I have to talk to you.
I have something to tell you.
Now for the part that really creepifies me, and that is that Flora, or the actress who plays Flora, if at very quick glance, looks very much like my stepdaughter.
Oh.
Like, when I take my glasses off, can't tell a difference at all. Same hairstyle and everything, and I was just skin crawled this whole episode because of that. Especially at the end. Anyway. Like Matt said, this is beyond the cross being burned on the lawn. Because there's a pig.
A pig on the cross.
A pig on a cross.
Not the cross, but a cross.
A kind of cross, yeah. But yeah, I love that how Shelby stood up to the police and was just like, dude, if you guys don't do it, I am going to the public about this.
It's like, they're, burning shit on our lawn. You know, they're making pig noises. All kinds of other crazy shit. Like, can't even explain. Sacrificing.
And he hasn't even found them, the Polk brothers.
Probably because they're dead.
I had to guess.
Maybe.
I don't know. I can't even begin to guess about them. But, you know, basically, according to what they're thinking, inbred hillbillies are trying to scare us off our land. Do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Not working.
No.
Now for some more interesting parts. History of the house. Apparently there were two... It was used as some kind of assisted living facility?
Mm-hmm.
Living facility.
Living facility. With two very murder-happy nurses.
Nope.
Yeah. I initially thought, oh, you're just going to treat your patients like shit because they're old and senile and you get off on that. And then she blows the guy's head off.
There's a woman, but yes.
Oh, yeah, that was a woman. I'm sorry. She blows the...
It was Margaret. It
was Margaret. And this for Margaret paints in blood on the wall. Like,
I was spray paint, but yeah.
Favorite word. What's their favorite word? Murder.
Murder.
They didn't finish the R.
No, they didn't finish the R, but murder. Now here's the question. Did they only kill people whose initials they can write on the wall, or...
They said they... Yeah.
They only accepted people that...
The doctor guy? Yeah, he said that.
All right, the doctor guy.
Yeah.
I was getting him.
They only accepted people that their first
because they got a lot of applications.
Could spell their favorite word.
Yeah.
And their favorite word is murder.
Murder.
They're not crazy at all.
Apparently they've been doing this before.
Yeah, apparently they are dead. They just don't know what happened to them.
Right, and Matt sees the scene play out in front of him. Like, there's some kind of time fracturing going on here, or please insert another explanation, because I don't want Dom to be right that it's time travel.
This reminds me of The Conjuring, if you've seen that movie.
I have seen The Conjuring, and you're right.
It's like very similar. It's a farmhouse where a lot of people lived there, and a lot of people died in that specific house. And then, this is the movie, not the true story of like that The Conjuring is based off of in the movie. Like all these people who died in the house, they're still in the house, and like people have seen them.
I mean, from what it's like it almost was like a recording, like the house, like that energy of what happened in that event melded itself into the house, and it's just like a repeating loop. It's like a recorder. It recorded that part.
He walks back, and it's like playback initiated.
Saw it. Yeah, right. It's kind of what it's like. It's like a recorder because they didn't interact with him. They didn't even know he was there, so it wasn't like an intelligent haunting. It was like a residual. I guess that's the one.
Either they're stuck there reliving it, or they're not really there. It just keeps...
It's just an image.
Yeah, like a residual haunting.
I don't know. If I was in Matt's shoes...
creepy as fuck.
If I walked through my creepy old house that I just bought for a bargain price, mind you, if I walked through and suddenly appear before me an old lady in bed and two crazy nurses who giggle about the prospect of blowing her head off, and then later on I find the bloody message behind the wallpaper, I would burn the house to the ground and cut my losses.
Well, so far we know that this goes at least, I mean, nurses was 1987, 88?
Mm-hmm.
And then what year was it when the doctor did his thing? Was
1997.
97. So it was like 10 years
the
later.
year I was born. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, he came to the house. Yeah, let's talk about him, the doctor guy, played by Dennis O'Hare, a series regular. So he came to the house because he wanted to do research on this story about these nurses because he was writing a book about them. When he came to the house, like that's when he started discovering all these things that were going on way before the nurses.
Things started to unravel.
Yeah, that's why he didn't want to stay in the house anymore, because he did live in the house. But then he started seeing possibly the same things that our current characters are seeing right now, and he just couldn't stay in the house anymore. So he built the underground house that's in the cellar, and that's when he discovered the thing about what was it, Pigman, and all this other stuff.
we're getting pieces now, so it's getting a little better to piece things together, especially now that they're giving years, what year and stuff like that. So I think we're going to start going back further and further and further. And it's going to be like a treasure hunt. They're going to find tapes everywhere in the house or something. They're going to find probably his research.
I like the storytelling aspect of this season. Just him telling the story. I like that. I mean, it's more creepy than some of the past seasons.
It's like sitting around a campfire, sitting around a campfire telling a ghost story.
Yeah, I
guess that feeling.
I want these seasons to be just creep-tastic. Like, that's the whole point. Horror story, please.
It's been lacking lately. It hasn't, but this season actually genuinely scares me.
I mean, short of Twisty the Clown, nothing has really creeped me out in the last few seasons. So, good on you guys. They
are doing. I do like the fact that they do relate it back to American stories that actually they're based off what really happened.
Now comes the question: what was the greater evil that stopped the nurses?
We don't know.
Because they would have finished their favorite word.
There. Yeah, it's probably something that's been there for years and years. Probably something that was probably there when the Roanoke colony was established, and I bet you it's an old something.
Something that is a greater level of evil than two murdering home care assistant nurses.
It's probably not
condone
human.
Murder. Yeah.
It's probably not human because we don't know if the nurses are dead, if they're alive, but something happened where they couldn't finish their little message and they were never found. The bodies that they killed were found in the house by the police, but the nurses themselves were
never
not found. And they said they reached to the ends of the earth. They called the Mexican government. They couldn't find them there. They were just nowhere.
Yeah, there was nothing personal of theirs left in the house. There was nothing.
So did they just pack up and leave? Did someone get rid of it all? And this actually reminds me of the actual Roanoke story. The Roanoke colony, which actually wasn't in North Carolina, it was actually in Virginia. But what happened there was, for anybody who doesn't know the story, is there was this colony, the Roanoke colony, who settled in Virginia, and just in this one little plot of land, they just settled there, and they were just going to scope out the place first. The first colony was just there to scout out the place and map it out. When the founder of the colony, John White, because every single colonial colony leader had to be named John back then. When he left initially, he went to back to England or something, and then he came back. Everybody was gone. The scouting party was just gone, and everything that belonged to them was also gone. Just no trace of them anywhere. And then they sent out this second party that was supposed to be the permanent colony. Then he left again. He came back again. All gone. Just gone.
Just gone. So,
fantastic.
I think it's something that's on the land, because sometimes land can be haunted by something.
I mean, they I remember reading this somewhere. Historians believe that the colonies, they weren't prepared enough for winter, and they integrated themselves into a local Native American tribe. That's
it's happened.
Yeah, that's the leading theory right now. But
the other theory is that the Native Americans actually killed them
and stole their shit. So.
Yeah. Or it could be both. Could be a little bit of both. They took their children to raise their children as their own. And killed the adults.
So remember, Lee, history of substance abuse. Gets a little tipsy. Well,
just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But after all this decides, I need to see my baby girl. Even though she's talking about everybody dying and her being last.
Well, she sobered up a bit first because she wouldn't put her daughter in danger by, driving in the car intoxicated. But, she was really drunk. She broke the plate. I love Angela Bassett playing a drunk person. I just think it's hilarious. She's like, oh my God, I didn't mean to do that. I'm so sorry. Oh, and they look up and the knives are on the ceiling, and they're like, Lee, what did you do? She's like, oh, I didn't do that.
I didn't.
What did she do? She got drunk. She fling the knives up on the ceiling. I don't think a drunk person
when you're drunk, you can't do
dangerous.
Shit like that. I'm sorry. When you're drunk, you're not flinging knives up on the ceiling.
Maybe she was practicing.
And having them stick into the ceiling a couple inches.
She was practicing her juggling routine, and she got a little overzealous. Anyway, no, you're right. She will not endanger her daughter's life by driving while intoxicated. However, she will put her in a haunted, creepy-ass house Who knows what going around? Like, surrounded by crazy hillbillies who you think want to kill you.
Yeah. But obviously there is some, I guess you want to say, friendly ghosts or spirits in the house. Because, they led Shelby and Matt to the cellar to find the tape and stuff. So there is, I think, with every bad hunting, there are good ones trying to protect, but they're not as strong. So they can only do so much. Mm-hmm. And then there comes a point when it's just overwhelming and they can't do anything. And you die or something.
Yep. So, the part that really gets to me is Flora disappears. Lured into the woods, abducted. And
she was lured out there by Priscilla. I bet you that was Priscilla.
That was Priscilla.
I bet you it was her trying to get her out of the house.
Like, I said they would save you for last. Well, in order for that to happen, you got to come with me. Come on, right now. Let's go.
I don't know. I think she said that to her to make them want to leave so it wouldn't happen because she was tired of the blood. So maybe she's trying to save her in her own way.
Maybe he lured her out of the house to make everybody else leave the house. Mm-hmm. And,
kind of like, I'll be scary enough to freak you the fuck out to get out of the house.
Ooh.
But I'm not going to really hurt you kind of thing.
Or better, like, how do I get everybody out into the woods where they can be murdered?
Come with me, little girl. I have a feeling Priscilla isn't malevolent. Or isn't a bad spirit. I think she was an innocent of all, and she was just trying to warn them in a way that's the only way she knows how. Because adults don't listen to her. Adults don't listen to her, obviously.
No, you're right. I can totally, see that happening. And, like, the optimistic part of my brain and the very hopeful part of my brain wants to say that nothing's going to happen to Flora, and she is one of the few characters to survive this season. Because she's, 8, 9, 11, something like that?
Yeah, probably. About.
Around that age. And please, no. Like, yeah.
We don't need that.
No, we really don't need that.
We don't. We've done that. We did a lot of that in season 1. We don't need to go back there.
Ooh, yeah. Thanks for reminding me of that. You're right.
This season, but this season specifically is very much connected to season 1. Because we have a Lee who was in season 1, and we know what happens there. So this is before Murder House.
Yeah, shortly before. Well, we don't know how long before, but we could say shortly before.
I watched a thing on YouTube, and it's basically before this season started. They did a timeline. I mean, if you haven't watched all the seasons, you don't know all these names. So I didn't know all of them, but they went from when it started, like 18 something or whatever, and then every American Horror Story and a timeline and like what happened in that timeline.
It starts at Cousin and ends with Hotel.
Yeah, so it's like it was really kind of interesting, but it was kind of confusing because they're showing clips of like the same actor playing different characters.
It's like Sarah Paulson is in all of these.
Yeah,
and she played 2 characters in Hotel.
It was really kind of, but it was interesting because it gave you
year by year. Clothes so fast.
Yeah, year by year, like in 1908, this person was born, and then in 1910, this happened, and I mean, he went through it. So it was actually kind of cool.
Yeah, we got Omikins in chat who, she just binge watched season 1 again after we were talking about this last week. The character Lee was not in season 1. The actress played a character who was an accountant named Sally.
Oh, it was completely different then.
Mm-hmm. And I remember her telling me about this earlier in this week, and I completely forgot about it. Thank you, honey. So there is that. But I do keep, hearing...
Sally, Lee.
Sally. I can see how that mistake was made. Very easily.
Maybe she changed her name.
But I keep hearing rumors
that went down this season.
Yeah, I keep hearing rumors that this is going to tie all the seasons more so together.
I would like to see how they can do that. But...
yeah, I've read places that it's going to start tying more of them together.
And
it's going to start doing it.
I would like that. I would very much love that. Also, Matt, sane character. What was the words he used? You're lucky you don't have an Amber Alert. looking for you right now.
Okay. Shelly actually did a really good thing by calling the kids dad.
Yes.
That's like a smart thing for her to do, even though they're still staying in the
freak out.
It's like, look, don't freak out. She's not missing.
She's not in the woods. She's in the creepy ass house where a bunch of people died.
She's in the really creepy house where a bunch of people died. She's with us. She's safe. She's doing her homework right now.
There are knives on the ceiling.
There's knives on the ceiling. There's 5 letters of murder spelled out in blood on the wall. There's pig noises and a burning pig on the front lawn.
Everything's fine.
This was before. This was. I don't. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you bring your daughter back?
I don't know. I'd like to know.
And I'm sorry. I mean,
she just wanted to see her, and then she saw her. She just took her.
I know. It's like, as much as I.
Uh-oh. Anyway, yeah. You wanted to see your daughter. You saw your daughter. Why would you take her with you? I think... Rachel says in chat, Skype stopped working.
Oh, no.
Oh, wonderful technical issues.
It's ghosts. Oh, my God.
See, we're on to them.
Priscilla. So can you stop?
You stop this shit? Really, Priscilla? Come on. They're on to us. Anyway, I was going to get to the point in our show where... is there anything else you want to add?
Okay, well, regarding I don't know if this is true or not, but regarding the format of the season, American Horror Story has never had a framing device. The framing device we have here is that it's like a documentary series. So, and we got all those, we got a bunch of teasers, like, depicting like different kind of genres of horror. My initial theory about this season was that it was going to be like Hollywood and like all these were like different types of movies. But now seeing the season, I think since they're going with this kind of like docu-series type of format, I'm thinking that for a couple of episodes, we're going to focus on these characters. But in another group of episodes, we're going to be focusing on completely different characters and their story.
I can dig it.
It could possibly. I'm back.
We noticed.
Oh no! It just said Skype has stopped working. I'm like, really?
Yeah, ignore it. Skype's an idiot. So yeah, Jake, I didn't think of any of that about like using it as a framing device and just
because they have to. They're not just going to have this framing device there for no reason.
You're right, and I think next episode we're going to get more of it because. First off, I can't find any synopsis for next
Are they going to do
episode.
that, huh?
Yeah, I can't. The only synopsis I could find is Chapter 3 and the general description of the entire series. But if you watch the promo for it, like, you got, like, they're showing, like, the documentary style. They're showing clips from the reenactment as they're doing it. And then they get the actual documentary character, who's, I guess you could say, the real Lee, not the reenactment Lee, and she's, just like, turn the camera off. I said, turn that goddamn camera off! Like, freaking out at the documentary, like, oh, okay. So, last week I'm like, okay, this is gonna get old fast. I've reversed my opinion. I like it. Give me more.
I do. I like it.
If we do stuff like that, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I want to see where this whole documentary thing is going, and I want to know, like, when are you gonna cut it off and take us to, sudden actor shift?
Because sometimes like they cut back to like the interviews with the real people, and I'm thinking to myself, why are you guys here? I'm not interested in your story because I just saw it.
Yeah.
With these other people.
I like it. I don't get confused or anything. So.
I mean, it's teasing me for the future because I know all of these people survive. At least to that point to make the documentary. So I mean, I guess now I know that none of them are in mortal danger.
Huh?
At least none that we see in the documentary. So any character we don't see in the documentary can die.
Okay, so who's dead? We don't see Flora in the documentary.
Well, Flora kids usually don't take part in documentaries because of legal issues. Because they're, underage and all that kind of stuff.
Well, we only really have these 3 characters.
Yeah.
I've never really seen anybody else. except for like Flora's dad, but he's probably not.
Yeah, I want to know more about, the colonist kind of people, like, Kathy Bates and all those.
I think I want to know more. I think that the police know more than they're saying. And the bank knows, people in this area know more than they're saying, because obviously the bank knew that this house no one would buy because they changed the address.
Right. You know what? I wanted to mention the bank, like, we don't want the house. Take it back.
I know.
Like, no,
you guys paid for it.
You guys paid for it. You were supposed to do your due diligence before you made your bid. But, great point. You changed the address. Like, you altered documents. You just hid the truth, basically, so you
could... they changed their address.
And you put wallpaper over the murder wall.
It's like, no, this won't do. We're just going to cover this up right here.
Yeah, right? But they didn't do a good job because that wallpaper came down really easy.
Wallpaper does not peel off like that. No,
it doesn't, unless it's really craftily
Ghost
done.
did it.
The
ghosts, they peeled it right off the wall. I got nothing more to add, other than, first episode I was jury's out, but then again, you know what? I'm always like that every season of this show. Second episode has pulled me right back in.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be on this show because I just want to shake the directors and say, okay, rational people will not be doing this. I don't care how cheap the house is. If the house is that cheap and you have to question why it's that cheap, you should know there's something wrong. I do not care if you lock me in the house. I will find a way. I will dig a tunnel underground. I'm Mexican. We're good at that. I will dig a tunnel underground, get out the other side, because I ain't going to that motherfucking house.
Right? I mean, yeah, there has to be. I mean, I would totally have done my as much work as I could background before this auction would have even hit.
Find what you can, but I mean,
even if they changed the address, I would still look like, come on, there's Google Earth now. You can look down on it and be like, oh, wait a minute, it has two addresses, because it would tell you. And I'm pretty sure you could find documents that are saying, oh, they changed the address from this to that. Or even in the general area, you can look up newspaper clippings from the general area, and I'm pretty sure they had a picture of the house.
I'm guessing they covered up this nurse story because, like, the doctor went there specifically for that story, and apparently there was another family that was there before the nurses, and that family too. They just upright left, but they left all their belongings.
They left all their stuff. They just kind of like God, why am I blanking now? That other house. Very high profile. In Maine, I think it was, or something like that.
Oh, you thinking of Amityville?
Yeah, that's it.
New York, Amityville, I think that was.
Yeah.
They just up and left everything in their house. The people that bought it after that. They just up and left everything in their house. Everything that they bought new for that house was left in that house.
More Ed and Lorraine Warren stories, which I would like to see this show tackle some of those stories.
I initially, the very first time I heard of American Horror Story, that's what I thought they were going to be tackling.
Ed and Lorraine.
They are kind of, because they're doing lesser known, I guess you would say, lesser known horror stories. And people, they don't get very much big profile and stuff. Granted, the first time when I saw those two nurses do a big M on the wall, I thought they were part of the Manson family or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that.
Or Montgomery family from season 1.
I was expecting Red Rum, murder backwards, but I don't know. Anyway, I think we've talked enough about this. Next week, as I said, no real synopsis. It's just called Chapter 2. No, this was Chapter 2. Chapter 3. I'm so flustered about that, I'm misnaming the episodes. Anyway, as mentioned, that's our show. Rachel, where can they find you?
Find me at Twitter at Savannah17, and hopefully by next week I am going to start streaming creative on my Twitch channel, which is just Savannah. I'm going to be doing my daughter's Halloween costume.
Ooh. Jake, where can they find you?
You can find me here on YouTube at Jacob Salazar, or you can find me on Twitter. Tweet at me throughout the week, throughout the life at To Nowhere Land. That is TONOWHERELAND. Join the Nowhere Land Society.
By the end of the season, I'll have something creative to answer to that. or I'll fail miserably. You can find me on Twitter at Thilidrin, also on Twitch at Thilidrin. I'm hoping to start streaming a couple of things soon, time permitting, which it will not. You can find all of us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and most importantly, YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. You can follow us at those places for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. Thank you all for watching. Have a lovely night.
Yeah, okay, Priscilla, I'll tell them. Okay, Priscilla says bye.
Bye, Priscilla.
Priscilla says bye.